Hello students, welcome all of you to the class of Indian Economic Development. We were doing the infrastructure and the previous chapter we have seen the infrastructure in the form of energy and related issues. Today this time we are having the second part of the infrastructure and here we are going to start with the health issues. Before talking about the health, let me discuss about the present situation. Present situation has many names. First name is COVID-19. Then we can say pandemic, coronavirus, lockdown, everything is on hold, stop, right? Global crisis, economic crisis, everywhere we are seeing a lot of problems that are emerging every day and every hour. Since due to absence of vaccine of coronavirus, we are under the state of lockdown for so many days and it can continue for how much time we don't know. So the importance of health we can understand from this issue only, from the present scenario only that is being currently going on. Here we are suffering every moment under the house and home. We are feeling secure and safe, but still there are several issues that are being on hold and they are getting degraded and down. Economy is getting down, every sector is getting down, people are getting unemployed, migrant workers are moving from one part to another and spreading the coronavirus, and it is being continuing for so many days. What will be the state? Where we are going to stop? There is no basically verdict of this. No solution can be given by anyone. So if we talk about the health, it is a very major, great concern for all of us. See students, if we talk about the health, we just need to take it very seriously, because until and unless we say and we believe that a healthy mind resides in a healthy body, we won't be able to realize how healthy we need to become in the coming scenario. It will be more challenging, it will be more prone to diseases, and you can be attracted at any time with such diseases. So, starting with the health, we say, according to WHO, World Health Organization, health is a state of complete physical, mental and social well-being. It means a person must be physically fit, person must be mentally sound, it means he must be rational to take proper optimum decisions. And social well-being, it means he must be ethically decorated. It means his behavior should be pleasant, he should not be reacting like a very anguished person, aggressive, tension, frustrated, depressed kind of person. Even though he is having good physical state, good mental state. So we can say again, health is a state of complete physical, mental and social well-being. He must be very pleasing personality in someone. And not merely the absence of any disease or infirmity. It means in the absence of disease also we can say we need to be very healthy. And as definition given by the WHO, it's very firmly said that we need to be very physically fit, mentally sound, as well as we need to be social well-being. It means we must care, we must have a care for each and everyone, let it be a small child to a person of more than 65 to 70 years of age. We must give courtesy to every citizen of this earth. So now we are moving forward, we can say health is a basically great infrastructural sector that requires some major consideration to be given by the government. And since independence, we need to work upon so many times in so many areas of health. So we say health includes pharmaceutical companies. Basically, these are the companies that produce medicines. And whenever any disease comes to us, the medicine must be coming to the market so that the patient could be cured at very sooner span of time. Since we are just suffering from coronavirus because none of the country in this world or none of the doctor in the world has discovered the vaccination of coronavirus. That's why the state of lockdown has been increased so many times. So this includes pharmaceuticals, medical staff include doctor, nurses and medical practitioners, hospitals. As we know, hospital include medicines as well as hospital beds and other related medical equipments and infra. Medical research and medical study institute, just like AIIMS or Indian Institute of Medical Sciences, is a premier institute. that facilitated the ailment of big disease as well as the research institute for discovery of new vaccination with respect to upcoming diseases that are coming and attacking the people. Now, we talk about in respect of system of healthcare, we can divide the healthcare system into three parts, or we can say three-tier system of healthcare system. One is primary, second is secondary, and then tertiary. In respect of primary medical center, we include clinics or local doctor clinics or mohalla clinics that have been established in Delhi basically by Aam Aadmi Party government. Secondly, that's path lab, where we are just going to have a medical test also. ECG facility has been provided, cardio facility has been provided. So when we have provided the advanced equipment above than the clinics, routine clinics, we can say they will be included in the secondary tier system of healthcare. And the third are the medical institutes like AIIMS and several big hospitals like Fortis and Metromas that are facilitating a huge amount of research and huge amount of we can say bed and hospitalization and medical treatment to the patients. So when these three are catering different saga of the patients, we just need to see the healthcare from the point of view of its significance. Significant, if we talk about healthcare or health sector builds healthy people and nation. Healthy people will give you healthy capital formation. Healthy human capital formation if it brings the healthy form of physical financial capital. It means when we people are healthy, our brain and mind will be healthy, we can involve ourselves in an efficient mode of work performance. So build healthy people and nation is the very prime significance of the health sector. Secondly, reduce mortality and maintain birth rate. It means infant mortality rate, death rate can be avoided and reduced to such an extent by the proper health system, and we can also maintain the proper birth rate by improvising the family planning modes. Then continuously increasing nutrition and life expectancy. It is helpful in spreading the proper nutrition awareness to the people at large, so that the poor or the lower middle class people or middle class people or the people who are malnutritive must be able to know how can we get properly nutritive and healthy. It means we just need to spread the awareness of balanced diet to the people. That's why government is also running midday meals to several government, and it is providing free of cost to the children, so that the parents of that poor children should not be able to worry about it. Yeah, our children will be hungry in school. Then it will increase life expectancy. The person nutritive, healthy, no doubt the life expectancy will also be increased. Since independence, we can say at the dawn of independence, the life expectancy was around 32 years. If we compare with today, the life expectancy has been increased to 65 to 70 years, even more. Discover new vaccines and medicine for cures. As I told you, that we are having several medical institutes and research centers that are making their constant effort in developing new types of vaccines as well as medicines, so that whenever new disease come to market or the economy and attack the patient of people, we just need to cure them as early as possible, so that we must get rid out of it as early. So reputed employment source. Doctor has a great amount of reputation in our society. We always believe doctors and his treatment blindfoldedly, because we just know that doctor is the next name to God. He is the well-reputed person. If he just going to give you the name of the medicine, we are going to buy at any and every cost without knowing its side effect, without knowing its double effect, what will be the ultimate effect for it. We are just knowing when the doctor has prescribed the medicine, we are just going to buy it at any cost and every cost. So this is basically a significance of healthcare system. Now, contribution of healthcare system, it means we can say in present, the first and foremost contribution that has been made in the healthcare system has been made by private sector. So we can say private sector accounts for 75 to 85% of the total expenditure in healthcare system. For treatment, rural people 75 to 80%, urban people 80 to 85% goes to private sector and rest with government. Since due to lack of proper facilities, sanitation, hygienism and lack of attention by the doctors and nurses, we can say the private sector is a better choice for the people at large. As we come to know, high-end sophisticated technology by private sector are being used, proper medical facility, doctors are being very caring, nurses are very caring, every time we used to come to just check for your health and care. We can say by using sophisticated technology and proper equipment, advanced means of technology, we just need to bank upon private sector. No doubt, they are charging enormous amount of money for this. At independence, if we talk about the independence, the private sector was only 8% of its performance. It means at that time it was 8%, now it has gone for 75-50% since there are multiple number of beds in private hospitals that you can find, and every bed is ultimately clean and tidy, proper and hygienic. Now, it means the government of India needs to concern more about improving the government hospitals, and see student, there has been in news many times that we have found several government hospitals in where the patients have been found lying in the corridors without any proper treatment by the doctors and nurses. Now, as I have given the definition by myself for the health heals extremely adverse by lending treatment honestly. I once again repeat, health means heals extremely adverse. Adverse means whatever be the situation that is extremely harmful for our health. By lending treatment honestly, it means when the person is going to become the doctor, he is into the study of MBBS, he used to take the oath as a doctor that he is going to perform his duty with due diligence and honesty. So, if I'm sure you are aware of these names, pandemic, epidemic, malnutrition, starvation, accidents are some of the few names that horrify us and our memory, then when we are going to get out of this. But now they are becoming the part and parcel of our life because we need to get admissible with these challenges. Since we need to improvise our health. Why so? Because of these so many diseases and many more, right? They are just posing a great threat to the human life. And for this, we just need to survive by increasing our immune system. So if I say as an emerging challenge, health is an emerging challenge. Why? Because reason are inequality of healthcare distribution, facilities, provision. It means in rural regions there are lack and absence of facility of the hospitals, clinics and equipment. There are absence of proper government doctors and nurses. Basically we can say many healthcare clinics are being run by the compounders who are treating themselves, where the doctor and people are just listening to them. It is so miserable situation in the rural area, that's why we have conveyed that there is inequality over healthcare distribution and facilities provision. We need to provide great facility to the rural region to improvise the healthcare system. Communicable disease like AIDS, SARS means COVID-19. It means these are the diseases which are yet waiting for the vaccination to come. It means if the person is affected with AIDS or COVID-19, it becomes very tough for him to rise from it. Since only the person who has a great immune system or immunity can rise above these situations. But we have no cure for AIDS. Poor medical staff. Now due to reservation policy that has been implemented in India, lots and lots of the reservation made the inefficient people to become the doctors and medical practitioners, and now they are lending their services to the people without knowing the proper medication system, proper medicine names. It means when there is a poor medical staff, it again poses a danger and challenge to the health system. And if there is a health system that is being bettering, right, due to these staff, people are just raising an eye over the trust towards the doctor and its treatment. Then lack of proper medical infrastructure and equipment. When the hospital has been set up, now the second step that we need to abide by is there must be a provision of proper medical facilities and equipment and infra. If this is not being provided, it will lead again to a great threat to the people at large. We just need to know that the hospital must be furnished with the proper equipments, infrastructure, syringes, treatments, ICUs, operation theaters, and all. Then lack of maintenance, hygienism, and sanitation level. Many times we have seen that outside and inside the hospital, many wandering creatures like dog, sheep, goat, or we can say cat or cow are wandering over there and just spreading the enormous amount of diseases and unhygienism, and we can say this is what due to lack of maintenance or security or hygienism or sanitation. Lastly but not the least, rising cost of privatization. Since we know that private sector are providing their best services toward the people, but there is another side of it also, and that side is rather more adverse, since they are charging every best possible cost that can be charged from the person. Every hospital, before admitting the person as a patient, used to give the declaration form to the parents or the person who is going to admit him, that if any casualty happens, if any mishappening happens, or if a person dies, the hospital or any of the medical staff will not be responsible. And despite the fact even the person or family is going to have a great amount of loss due to death or mishappening, they do not bother about charging the huge amount of money. So, rising cost of privatization is again a serious threat and a challenge towards the healthcare system in India. So, if we talk about Indian system of medicine, that is also called Ayush. Ayush stands for A for Ayurveda, Y for Yoga, U for Unani, S for Siddha, Naturopathy, and H for Homeopathy. It means, if I am not wrong, we can divide our medical system into three ways of medicines. One is Ayurveda, that is this system where our Indian people have adopted for so many years. This is pure natural way of treating the person. It takes time, but still we can say the result comes up without any side effect, and that's what the Patanjali products are doing basically. Ramdev Baba is basically doing a fantastic job at enhancing and boosting the yoga by providing Ayurvedic products, right? So that the people must be healthy, nutritive, and without any side effects. Secondly, we have homeopathy, right? And finally, we have allopathy. It means if we are having Ayurvedic, if we are not treating the Ayurvedic and treating allopathic, then we just need to bank upon the prevailing or present level of medicine that can give a great side effect. Or we can say in simple, we just need to bank upon the antibiotics and the medicine that the doctor recommends. It is in general that doctors do not recommend Ayurveda because they do not believe in quick results. In quick result, we just need to bank upon allopathic, or we can say antibiotics or the medicine that are given by the doctors that are basically manufactured by rich owned pharmaceutical companies. For example, Ranbaxy, Max, they used to produce a wide amount of, we can say, these medicines. Right? We have several names in India also. So, we can say these are basically three arena of medicine by which we can say earlier in days when the medicines, medical, healthcare system was not optimum for India, people used to just believe in Ayurveda only. Later on, homeopathic and allopathic also developed. Now, allopathic has a major content to be treatment in the economy. Now, with respect to women health, this is again a serious concern. As I always told that women must be treated at par with men, but still there is a challenge that women have been left malnutritive. Women have been left with several weaknesses. We can say she is always being treated as a person of negligence. If she is malnutritive, it's okay. If she is suffering from any diseases, it's okay. But she needs to continue for doing all kinds of work of households. That is what the miserable things are about. She suffers from the basically treatment after the giving birth to a child, let it be from cesarean or we can from the natural birth, right? But we can say whenever we are concerned about the woman, there is always a serious challenge for the girl. Since the family, there are many people around India, they are least bothered or concerned about the healthcare system for the woman. So students, these are basically the content that we have discussed in the infrastructure chapter, that is purely health system. And I wish and I hope the only conclusion that I would like to give you, that to stay safe and stay healthy. As I always used to say at the last of my topic, and I used to finish it up, always stay healthy, stay happy and stay alive. Because laughter is the best medicine and healthy mind resides in healthy body. Thank you so much, students, for viewing our lecture. God bless you.